And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. Over 80 show partners with the Real Estate Quarterback Show and our second brand, the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we all want to entertain you. We want to educate. We want to enlighten. But most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-917-1894.
Baby, don't forget my number.
And we want you to bookmark our website, realestateradiotampa.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available. You can watch the live streaming version of our television show on WeBeam TV. You can also see links to all of our expert contributors. Just click on the expert contributors tab. You can see all of our contact information. And we want to help you win no matter what you're facing. If you're climbing the corporate ladder, or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work, this show's for you. And let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Back in studio, Mr. Jaret Nichols, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems. Welcome back in, sir.
Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, today on the show I'm going to talk about energy management as it relates to our building and home automation systems. A lot of times people are putting the features of these systems in where they have the ability to do this, and they don't really go the extra step to save themselves energy. And with energy costs, both residential and commercial, it's a huge thing to make sure that you're keeping your costs down as much as possible by conserving energy.
Absolutely. It's good for you. It's good for your business, your home, and it's also good for the environment, lighting control, climate control, pool controls, all types of cool stuff to talk about with Jaret. And also back in studio, Mr. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome in, sir.
Good afternoon, Tampa Bay. Today I'm going to talk about some product options and designs with the patios, the screen rooms, and the pool enclosures. There's a lot of different options out there that we don't always cover. And I'd like to, spend 3-4 minutes covering some of the options. And obviously, we like to keep it simple when we make the sale, but we'd like to offer the options as well.
That's right. Yeah, lots of options from Tampa Screens and Aluminum Inc. We're going to talk with Fred in a little bit. Also back in studio, Mr. Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Avery Home Remodeling.
How you doing, Brandon?
Awesome.
Good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, man. Likewise.
So I figured today the word of the day is investment properties, and there's everybody talking about flipping homes all the time, and so we can give some pros and cons and tips to how to make that transaction go well.
That's right, making you more street smart here on the Real Estate Quarterback Show, helping you sort through a lot of that nonsense out there in the mainstream media, and giving you that helicopter view of the marketplace out here in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. We have Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's your most important hour on the radio here on 1250 Wins. And we also have a weekend show on 102.5 The Bone, and a lot of resources available for you on our YouTube channel as well if you just search Real Estate Quarterback Show on YouTube. And we'd love to engage you across any type of platform, of course, facebook.com/REQB Show. And Brandon Rhymes, I'm your host, and also the owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Recently featured in Top Agent Magazine. Very, very interesting. A lot of good things happening. Jason and I have a call set up this afternoon, third interview now for a nationally televised TV show. So a lot of positive momentum, things happening around our show. And I want to touch on a couple of hot listings that I've got. I got an open house going on here this weekend at 8156 Causeway Boulevard South in St. Petersburg. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, $646,000 listing, and it's waterfront with wide canal views of Boca Ciega Bay on the direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful property here at 8156 Causeway Boulevard South in St. Pete. And it's actually a Treasure Island property, so it's right across the bridge there. And a beautiful North Tampa, New Tampa area property here at Corey Lake Isles. It's 18003 Cozumel Isle Drive. And this is a modern, chic design, 24-inch glass tile, beautiful property, $1.199 million for a 3,700 square foot heated property. It's got the Vanishing Edge pool and Infinity Edge pool, rather. overlooking a beautiful lake. Great buying opportunity. And this segment is brought to you by Michael Vogt with Back and Health Massage, helping people with neck, shoulder, back, and hip, leg, and pain feeling better. And top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay, located at 3750 Gun Highway, suite number 106 in Tampa, where the intersection of Bush, Gun, and Del Mabry intersect. And top 10 massage services by the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards. Big shout out to Michael Vogt, expert massage therapist, as well as the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate property. Shout out to the Maids. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this great content. Intelligent Talk Radio. Got some intelligent folks here in studio. Jaret Nichols, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems. And let's jump right into it, man. A lot of cool things happening in your space. We're talking about ways that people can improve their product, their homes, with some awesome home theaters and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, we do all the low voltage in the houses, and lately everybody's tying it all together with a automation system. The one we sell and specialize in is called Control 4. Takes your audio, video, lighting, door locks. I mean, really every aspect of the house. And one button you could press and turn everything off, open everything up, let people in remotely when you're not home. A big thing about these systems is they do have the ability, especially in larger homes, to really cut down on energy costs by turning things off when you're not in a room, things like that. On a commercial side, the building automation systems really mainly do HVAC.
Yep.
We don't get into that all that much, but in a building like this, you typically would have like a chiller plant that, maybe not this building, I'm not sure, but there'd be a chiller plant that does all the air conditioning through cold water, and the HVAC units would all turn on based on occupancy, whether or not the building's occupied, and that's huge in a building like this. I mean, it could be the difference between thousands of dollars a month that you save.
Yeah, absolutely. We last week's show, too, we had John Grant with Eagle LED Lighting and talking about how the lighting impacts as well. We've got football season here. People love to have those home theaters in place, and I'm sure you're doing a lot of cool stuff with home theaters and things of that nature as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're always audio video drives this business. We're actually working on a project right now where the client has 15 sources and 25 TVs in the house, including a 130-inch projection screen. In the same room on the other side, he's got a video wall going in with 4 65-inch monitors that with a push of a button, you could turn those 4 monitors into essentially another 130-inch screen.
Wow.
And since they're all 4K monitors, technically you're looking at a 16K image.
Nice. Wow, man, that's pretty neat stuff. We're talking with Jaret Nichols here, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems, on the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And what else are you seeing out there? What's some of the trends happening?
Well, audio video, as I said, always really drives it. But now, I think just they call it the Internet of Things. There's just so many things that kind of can be online. Now people, 10 years ago when I got into this business, home automation was there, but everyone was kind of nah, I don't need that, And now they're looking around at their friends' houses. They're just seeing commercials on TV, Nest thermostats, or different lighting products. Smart TVs are now incorporating so many things. Somebody just called me yesterday and said, hey, I want to put just put a shade in for me because I'm going to control it with my Samsung Smart Things. I've never heard of that before, but apparently, and everybody's got their own proprietary thing. But really, on a professional level, the reliability comes in there. I know there's always a learning curve for technology, and if you try to do a lot of that stuff on your own, sometimes you sit there wondering why it doesn't ever work because you might not know the ins and outs of things that make them reliable and make them work.
Yeah, man, it kind of makes me think of my uncle. I think one time you come in, you have all those 3 or 4 different remotes. You don't know which one to pick up. So you simplify the process for homeowners.
Yeah, I mean, typically one remote in every room. When I walk into a house and see the 5, 6 remotes scattered on a table, I cringe. It just it doesn't look good. But all these systems now also give you the ability to take your phone out. You might have the remote sitting there. Maybe you're too lazy to pick up the remote, so you take your phone out. Actually, really the coolest thing in the way everything is going now is going to be voice control.
Right.
Amazon Alexa has really dominated and is being pretty friendly with every automation system out there. Just 2 weeks ago, Control 4 announced that the automation system that we sell, that's a native thing. You pick up an Amazon Echo and automatically hook it into your system, and you can control all your lights and lighting scenes in the house. And with a little help from us, you could say, hey, good, Alexa, turn on good night, and the TV in your bedroom turns on, everything else turns off. Thermostat thermostat adjust, shades drop, whatever you want to have happen, and you didn't touch a button.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, a lot of good things happening. Maybe when we come back from break, we'll get into a success story, some of the things you're seeing out there in the marketplace, and talk a little bit about some of your locations potentially and how you would give a consultation. You know, people could have you out to their home, you sit down with them, you talk to the homeowner or business owner if you want to do some things at your office. And we're also going to hear from Fred Muth coming up as well, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and later in the show also Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Avery Remodeling. And we're going to our lightning round as well. We're going to give you top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid, ways that you can live a better life, leave a better legacy for your family. And also an interesting story here. Tampa looks to sell city block to New Orleans developer HRI properties for $7.5 million. So I think this just got approved. So we're going to talk about that and more from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes, your host here at Real Estate Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, and the Tribune. Recognized for innovations with marketing. Shout out to Victor Alleman on my team. He's got the cover home on the Homes and Land magazine. Beautiful property he has over on Marina Drive in Tarpon Springs. Great listing here, and we've also got a full page ad in there with a lot of other hot listings. I want to remind you to save our hotline in your phone because at some point you may need it. It's 813-917-1894. Make sure you save our hotline.
Welcome to my house.
And also bookmark our website, realestateradiotampa.com. realestateradio.tampa.com, realestateradio.tampa.com. Smart Move Moving and Storage is the official moving partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Giving a big shout out to Smart Move Moving and Storage, as well as Hula Bay is the official restaurant partner of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, located on Tyson Avenue here in beautiful South Tampa. Waterfront dining, awesome ambiance, excellent sushi, and a great menu. And say hello to Mike Finnegan over at Hula Bay. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. He's going to hook you up. You go down there and just tell him that we sent you. And so I got a couple of hot listings for this segment. I've got our real estate listing of the month. It's 414 South Royal Palm Way in Beach Park, 33609, 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, over 4,800 square feet living, listed at $1.195 million. And it's a distinguished South Tampa beautiful beach park home. And it's Spanish architecture with a modern flair. Listed at $1.195 million, 414 South Royal Palm Way. And I got a beautiful commercial opportunity here at 700 St. Petersburg Drive West in Oldsmar. And it's a quarter-acre lot, $295,000. Great opportunity to relocate your business to this corner lot on 700 St. Petersburg Drive West in Oldsmar. 1,400 square foot heated, and a great buying opportunity.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right. We're back here live from beautiful iHeartRadio here in South Tampa, and we're talking with Jaret Nichols, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems. And Jaret, what are some of the trends, or what, if let's say a homeowner wants to contact you and talk about this potential to increase their home systems? What's that process look and feel like?
Well, we do a lot of retrofit work, so obviously, and it's all what we do is completely custom. I mean, everybody's job is different, and really the makeup of your house, how it's constructed, where you want to put things, is always something that we're going to have to look at and find the best way to pull off what you're trying to do. Typically, any client that calls us and wants us to come out, we'll do a free consultation. We'll come out to your house, take a look at what you want to do, take a look at some things you have, the wiring that's in place, and then make suggestions based on that. Since we do a number of different things for clients, they might just want to put on a home theater. Maybe they want to do a full system, so it really depends on the amount that they want to do, as far as how long we're going to be there and things like that.
Yep.
Giant systems, stuff like that. Sometimes we'll do maybe like a design deposit or something. We rarely do that, only on gigantic systems that are going to take up a lot of our time. But we'll put out the best, we have a lot of experience in the installation business, so we'll put out the best options based on what we find there. Sometimes you have to run wire through exterior conduit to get things accomplished, or attics. Not too many basements down here, so that's not an option. Sometimes crawl spaces, but no one likes getting in crawl spaces.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know Jay Smith, our home inspector, Snoop Inspection. He talks about that sometimes. Some of the tight ones they have out there.
Yeah. I don't mind attics, even tight ones, but I'm like Indiana Jones. I hate snakes, so I'm not getting under a crawl space if it's too tight. If I have to get down on my belly, I'm not getting in there.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man.
But after we get together, typically we can have people back to our showroom to take a look at the solutions and how they work and apply that to their house. But really coming out is a good idea, because a lot of times people kind of have an idea of what they want, and then you get out there and you're like, that's impossible based on what you have here.
Right.
Turn around and people sometimes get my ear and just, hey, what about this, and I need to look at it. I have to see it. You can tell me as much as you want to tell me, but until I see it, I can't give you the solution.
Right. You got to see the layout, see what the floor plan is, and what the feasibility is for that particular system that you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. You mentioned the Nest thermostats. Are you involved with that type of
Yeah, we're a Nest installer. Nest has a handful of products. I think the big ones are they make something called Nest Cam, which is a little, they used to be called Drop Cam, a real nice, convenient way to actually hear what's going on in your house. The Nest thermostats are probably their most popular product. They also have Nest Protect, which is a smoke detector. All those products do tie into our system. Actually, the camera does not, but the camera is a real nice addition. Most people that get that Nest Cam want to take a look at what their dog's up to and be able to hear them during the day. And technically, you could talk to your dog, although some clients are kind of like, I don't know if my dog wants to hear my voice when I'm not home. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, scare them a little bit there.
Yep.
Interesting. Good stuff. More from Jaret in our lightning round. We're going to come back. We're going to bring Fred Muth into the conversation now. Tampa Screens and Aluminum. What are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing a lot. I mean, but this Jaret, I should get him to the house. I really should.
Yeah, man.
Every time I'm with you, I get excited about your product. I know you could help me. I'm telling you, I think I have rabbit ears on one of the TVs.
No, I think you told me that last time. You asked me what AM radio was, and I wasn't quite sure.
In our business, believe it or not, our screen room is half the size of the house. Go figure. I'm in the screen business. Right?
Yeah, right.
I'd expect it.
And it's well done. And I want something out there. Of course, I have to run it by my bride. So if you sell it to me, let me sell it to her. It'd be the trickle-down sales effect.
I'll give you all the keywords you need.
Okay, I may need that, yeah. Anyway, back to the aluminum business. I make the statement every time. It's just unbelievable what's going on out there, Brandon.
Yeah.
3 different phones are ringing, emails coming all different directions, installers on one line, concrete man's on the other line, customers on the other line. Beautiful. This is what we like, it's fine. This is the way it should be. Driving up and down the roads, cement mixer trucks, dump trucks. It's all good. They're going to a site. They're going to pour something.
That's right.
And it's almost deja vu from 2004 and 2005.
Yeah.
And I know you're seeing it as well.
Yeah, the real estate market's up. A lot of good things happening. I think, we've had all of our local mayors on the show here, and every time they come on the show, they talk about how we compete as a region, not only for jobs, but infrastructure for any type of big conventions, the intellectual talent of the young graduate students, folks coming in. So we're looking for that job pool. So yeah, a lot of great things happening in Tampa Bay, and it's good to hear that Tampa Screens in Aluminum is rocking, man.
Just gone wild. Last week, I take 3 phone calls from the 917 area code. They're all from New York.
Oh yeah,
they're all down here now, and what happens, they're not clear on exactly what a lanai is, and of course we are. So our job is to basically educate the consumer as to what a lanai is.
Yep.
They'll come into the house or into the community, and they'll want something. They don't know what they want. And a lot of times the back of the house will dictate to the aluminum contractor what they can and cannot do based on the roof design.
Right.
In some cases, you can only use a screen roof. In some cases, aluminum roof is acceptable, with different provisions. And,
right.
The typical sales call lasts 20, 30 minutes. And again, we like to keep it simple initially so that we don't overwhelm the customer with too much. And then obviously when it's time to write the business up or whatever, we can talk about some of the other options. Fan beams, for example, different height kick plates, different height chair rails. There's a product called Luminite, which is Florida glass in the industry. There's different size structural gutter systems. All of this comes into play at a certain point throughout the proposition. But it's, educating the consumer is what we're all about. We have to. Nothing worse than having the questions come in. I've said this before, after the job is built.
Right.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
I like the questions before the job's built. And I tell my customers, continue to ask me questions. You can call me. Well, not 24/7, but you can call me as many times as you like to ask me the questions, because me as a homeowner myself, I'm going to do the same thing to the XYZ contractor coming in to do cabinets or whatever. I want to know exactly what's going on. I don't like surprises on the back end, and we don't like to create surprises on the back end for our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Those last-minute surprises. I know Jason's going to talk about that as well when it comes to change orders and how that can affect a construction deal.
I know what you're up against.
The thing I love about with Tampa Screens and Aluminum is, especially here in Florida, and we're coming into that beautiful time of year where it cools down just a little bit, and you have that air conditioning space in your house, and they've got these beautiful outdoors, and that's what Fred and his company's gonna be able to do, is add that third living area where you just you got the screened in, or maybe depending on the style you go with, you enjoy that area.
You spend the majority of your time in that area.
That's right.
About 7 months of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, those elite panel products they put out are just amazing. The efficiency of them, from the assembly and construction. I mean, they snap together like an erector set. They've got pre-approved engineering. So, when I build on a hard roof for somebody, a more permanent, lanai structure that looks like it's part of the original house, the cost can be, 30 to 80% more than what he can accomplish in the square footage with those products.
Composite panel roof is an amazing product. And you say snap together. I say like Lego. Basically, they're built like Lego. It's amazing.
Exactly.
And they're strong. You can walk on them.
Well, the key is that it comes with a finished roof, a finished underside ceiling. It's already insulated, all in one quick assembly.
Love it.
Great stuff.
Love it. Yeah, great stuff. Let's hear more collaboration when we come back as well. Jason Avery, home remodeling expert, and Fred Muth as well, Tampa Screens and Aluminum Inc. And you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
Ever need a doctor after hours? Well, searching won't help. But what do? You could go to the urgent care or ER, but if only there was a better way. Introducing the MNO Plus card. No waiting rooms, no copay, no consultation fee, giving you 24/7 access to a doctor by phone or online. It's easy to get started with affordable plans starting at $15 a month for a family of 5. For more information, visit mnoplus.com today.
Everyone's story is different, so why be limited to just one or two options? With Norcom's Norflex Home Loan, you're given the flexibility to tell your story. Pick your terms from 8 to 30 years, all while maintaining a low, fixed mortgage rate. You can pay off your loan more quickly or choose a term based on your budget and timeline. Whatever you do with the Norflex Home Loan, make it part of your financial plan. Norflex, short-term, long-term, your terms. Apply online at norcommortgage.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a consumer advocate. I want to help you win no matter what you're doing out there. I take great pride in giving back and feel a moral obligation to give back, help educate our listeners out there, as well as a former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team under Coach Levitt back in the day, celebrating 20 years of USF football. Big shout out to the Bulls. And we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa. And this segment is brought to you by Michael Lysenko. He's a safe money coach. He's a fiduciary, and that's important to know about your financial advisor, the guy that's taking care of your money. Michael Lysenko, we highly recommend him. Financial advisor, partner on the show. He's a fiduciary, safe money coach. And, a lot of these so-called wealth advisors run around touting certain mutual funds or certain products that may not be in your best interest, more commissions to them, whereas a fiduciary like Michael is going to be able to help you make the right decisions as an independent advisor. So we're back here in studio. We're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and we got Jason Avery kind of chiming in here. Jason Avery, Home Remodeling, talking a little bit about these different types of options that homeowners have on these beautiful sunrooms and additions you have.
Yeah, there sure are. If you look at 45, 50 screen rooms, a lot of them are so typical, which they are very functional as well. However, you can spruce it up. I just bid a job the other day where the customer wanted a round fluted column on each corner. It's doable. We can do it. It's not a problem whatsoever. You don't see a lot of that. Very doable. And of course, our company offers the panoramic view pool enclosure, which I've talked about this before. This is phenomenal.
Nice.
A lot of people will be, in their typical 40 feet wide, 28 foot deep rectangle pool enclosure, and they don't want to see the uprights. They don't want to see the chair rails. They have a lake out back.
Yeah.
I can build it. I can typically get away with 2 open sections on a 40 foot wide. That'd be 2 20-foot panels.
Nice.
And when you can sit in that screen enclosure and look directly out and see no obstruction with aluminum extrusions, it's a plus.
Yeah.
We're probably one of the only companies around that I know of that does that, and they're beautiful once we do them.
Yeah, I got to get you to talk to our builder. We're building on the lake right now over Lake Tarpon, and it sounds like an interesting. We haven't really got to that point yet, but yeah, interesting.
So you're going to have a pool.
That's right.
You got to have a pool.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have a pool at home, so we're coming to your house on the weekend.
There you go. Party time. Let's do it. Yeah, lots of fun. If you just joined us, you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and we're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum Inc. And let's go ahead and bring Jason Avery in the conversation as well. Jason Avery owns Avery Construction. In just over 5 years, Jason has built an amazing team of over 35 people, remodeling kitchens and bathrooms and building new additions all over Tampa Bay. And they completed about 75 projects a year, $3 million worth in renovations. And today I want to get some great tips from him for some of the people looking to flip homes out there.
Sure, Brandon. Yeah, the question comes up often. I go to all the major home shows at Tropicana Field or the Convention Center or the Fairgrounds, and I'll take a dozen of those inquiries, at each show. A lot of people want to take advantage of the investment opportunities out there, and there are some great ones. But I think sometimes your amateur investors they don't quite approach things the right way. So hopefully we can give them a few tips today to set them off on the right track. We first thing in shopping for the real estate, and it really comes down to price per square foot. Right. And we know what the market will yield. Some of our neighborhoods out there will yield transactions at 100, 120 a square foot, while other neighborhoods are yielding, 180 to 200 a square foot.
Right.
And so what is the potential max sale price within a particular neighborhood?
Right.
And then let's look at the price per square foot that we can make the purchase.
That ARV number, right?
Exactly.
The after repair value. That's a big number.
For me to look at, a real opportunity for investment, I want to see at least a 50% reduction in the value of the sale price, what I'm going to purchase that for. And I need 50% built within to the max sale price in order to feel that we're going to be able to accomplish something worthwhile. And then ultimately I'm going to budget 25% of the money to the repairs and the renovations that I'm going to make and work within a budget and allow for a 25% margin on the final transaction.
Yep.
And, I think that's a reasonable margin. I've seen other investors that are capitalizing 50% or better on transactions and they won't get involved for less. But at 25, you've got a workable model. So now at 25% of the sale price, if we're going to go in there and invest into a $150,000 home, and we've got about $37,500 to work with on our renovation. And you need to get the licensed professionals out there early. You just go ahead and get out there, and you don't need specific numbers. You don't need specific ideas yet. Too many people put the cart before the horse, and they get the designers involved first and start picking out colors and great products and all the lovely things they're going to do, and then they find out later that they're upside down and that their margins are, dwindling. So get in there first with the budget and work it backwards. Work the math backwards. You can compartmentalize things. Here's how much we can allot towards the kitchen. Maybe that will yield new cabinets. Maybe it's just going to yield new countertops, and we can paint the old cabinets. We're going to, allow a certain part of our budget towards the bathroom.
Right.
But considering, what's the end game? What's the result? Can we do simple stuff like knocking down a wall? A non-load bearing wall is just a partition, for the most part. Very easy to tear out and very little repair that goes with it, but can make major impacts,
right,
especially on your waterfront homes.
Exactly.
If you have waterfront property and you can't see the water when you walk in the door, wow, big enhancements can be made. And even if you have to put up to $5,000 into a load bearing beam, it can make all the difference in the world when you walk in the front door and pow, there's the view, there's the money shot, know. So those are the kind of opportunities that I'm looking for. And I'm looking, from a financial point of view first.
Yep.
And then I'm looking at a practical point of view on, with the budget allotted, what improvements can I make? And I understand that I don't have to improve everything. Right. I don't have to make that entire house brand new. And I need to hit the highlights. I want to make sure that I've got a good kitchen first and foremost. I want to make sure that I've got a solid roof, air conditioner, hot running water, and no obvious deterioration or rot. And then after that, what's going to put the new face on it? Is it floors? Is it painting? Is it, doing a bathroom? Do I have to do all the bathrooms? No. And we don't have to tackle the whole animal right now. If you have enough good parts about the house, the new buyer coming in can see past that one area that they can tackle later.
Yeah, especially if you do the master bedroom. Hey, focus there, focus who's spending the money, right? Follow the money.
Absolutely.
Is the theme right now.
She is right. Yes, she is. So.
And the other thing, too, is we see a lot of times with renovations is if there's an opportunity to add more square footage, maybe closing in a garage, maybe, by adding that fourth bedroom, now it's throwing you into a whole nother, echelon of homes price point wise.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's the answer, especially if you're in a 3-1 and you can turn it to a 3-2 and you can do it within your budget and then again still put a new face on other things. And you're recategorizing that home. You're putting it into a different scale as far as the price per foot that you can draw from it.
Yeah.
And the pool of people that you can sell the home to becomes much greater.
That's right.
And those are the kind of investment opportunities we really need to be looking for.
And I just got to mention right now that we are in a lack of inventory. We are looking for inventory. We're looking for houses right now to list and sell. Single family homes, duplex, triplex, quads. Any listeners out there, if you want a free valuation on your home, go ahead and pull out your smartphone. Text our hotline right now, and we'll give you a free comparable market analysis. Go ahead and send a text the word value to 813-917-1894. Text value now for a free comparable market analysis on your home, free appraisal on your home basically, and save $500 on an appraisal by texting value to 813-917-1894. You can call or text that number. If you're not a texter, that's fine. I promise to get back to you before my head hits the pillow. And we're talking with Jason Avery here, Avery Home Remodeling. So what else are you seeing out there, man?
There's lots of business out there. Where our company's running 10 crews at a time, and there's 40 jobs on the books, and also 4 to 6 week turnarounds. We're putting them out as fast as we possibly can. The key is there's the holidays coming up, so you get a lot of people calling in right now asking, can you get this thing done before Thanksgiving? Can you get it done before Christmas?
Exactly.
Are we going to be done before the New Year?
Starting to squeeze.
And then you have those others that are saying, okay, I'm going to give you money now because I want to be in line, because the moment that those guests leave after the holidays, I want you breaking ground. We're starting January 1.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of business out there. We're running an 8-week lead time, and sad to say, I probably had lost out on 4 opportunities over the last couple of months that I could have, captured had I been able to get there sooner. And my advice to these people that weren't able to hire us or, wait the extra couple of weeks, is just that, if they're good, if they're talented, and they're busy.
Yeah.
If somebody's going to get there, much quicker than 8 weeks, that should be your first red flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why did nobody else hire them?
Yep.
So,
absolutely, man. Yeah, and we'll go into some of those other details about what you're seeing out there, what the industry, like we talked about in previous shows, some of the things to look out for. And also, Tampa looks to sell City Block to New Orleans developer HRI Properties for $7.5 million. And we're coming into our lightning round. You don't want to miss that. So stay with us. Real Estate Quarterback Show, realestateradiotampa.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Brandon Rhymes here, Real Estate Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty. This segment is brought to you by Brace Accounting. Big shout out to Ronald Brace, Tom Oleski over at Brace Accounting. They do a great job on our accounting needs for the Real Estate Quarterback Show. Lots of our partners utilize Brace Accounting as well. Interesting is that Ronald Brace is actually an off-ice official for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think in like 24 years, he's only missed something like 4 or 5 hockey games for the Lightning. And so who better to have as a statistician for the Lightning than an accountant, right? So he does a good job for him. I know he has a lot of fun doing it. And also a big shout out as well to Net Worth Realty, off-market wholesale opportunities. Big shout out to our partner there, Mark Bloom and his team over at Net Worth Realty, off-market real estate opportunities as well. And so in the first segment, we heard from Jaret Nichols, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems. We also heard from Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum Inc. And now we're talking with Jason Avery of Avery Home Remodeling. And Jason is the author of the #1 best-selling book, Constructing Success, Blueprints for a Referral-Based Business. Let's talk a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, the book is really taken off. We got #1 bestseller on Kindle, and we're available on Amazon. And then just in August, we got invited to go with a group of 3 other authors to Barnes & Noble in Clearwater. We got to do a little author book signing, and we had a great turnout. About 80 people in the room came out to support us. We sold lots of books, and in the end, Barnes & Noble went ahead and picked it on up and put it on the shelf. So, cool. So it is currently available for sale at Barnes & Noble in Clearwater. We're working on introductions right now with some of the Tampa stores to try and go on a little tour with it. So,
nice.
Yeah, exciting news on the book front.
I love it. We got to get the other book in there, too, thrown in, the one that we kind of co-authored together with
sure, with all the
partners.
consumer advocate tips. Yeah, that was a great book that we put out.
Yeah.
And a lot of professionals in there with a lot of great insights. I love that book.
Love it. Yeah, a lot of good things happening in the Real Estate Quarterback Show and Tampa Bay. And, later on today, we've got a third interview with a major network talking about a syndicated fix and flip show here in Tampa Bay. So a little early in that process, but a lot of cool things happening in and around the show and with our partners, and we're real excited. Let's go ahead and touch on this story that we teased here. It says Tampa looks to sell city block to New Orleans developer HRI Properties for $7.5 million. New Orleans-based HRI Properties emerged Thursday as the winning bidder for the city-owned block in the heart of downtown that has sat vacant for nearly 20 years. Wow, that's amazing to think, 20 years. And they offered to pay $7.5 million for a city block next to Tampa City Hall, the corner of East Kennedy Boulevard and North Florida Avenue. Company, which has done $2 billion worth of mixed-use projects nationwide, plans to build a 21-story building, 233-room Hyatt-centric hotel, 225 residential units, 7,000 square feet of retail space, and a 408-car garage. Tampa officials said they expect to construct early third quarter of 2017. So interesting. I mean, man, that's a mega project there, Jason. How do you weigh in on that one?
That one's a little over my head. And, we do have some partners and some resources, though. That's one thing that I've done in my business is I've never feared competition. I've always embraced it, and I've formed a lot of great relationships with a lot of great contractors in the Tampa Bay area, and I know just who'd be qualified for the job. So
that's right. It's an abundance mentality. I see that so many times out there in the community, and that's a realtor, I'm not going to talk to that because he's a realtor. And I have the abundance mentality as well. The more opportunity you see, and that's what we do with our show too, is we make the pie bigger for everyone. Everyone's slice of the pie is going to be a little bit bigger. And so I love that. And that's the right mentality to have these days.
It's a giver's gain mentality too.
Exactly.
Be aware of where the opportunities are, and be aware of who's best to fit that opportunity. And it's kind of like the dating game. You just be a matchmaker. Bring people together, and when you bring people together on a business cause, on a good shared vision, those people will both be motivated by your effort, and both of those people will feel indebted to you to someday,
I love it.
Make a deposit into your relationship account.
That's right. And I think it was Jim Rome that said, don't be a good go-getter, be a great go-giver, right? So, yeah, right on that same line of thinking.
That's karma, man. What goes around comes around.
That's right, man. Let's jump into our lightning round. All right, lightning round. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid, ways to help our listeners live a better life. Jaret Nichols, you're up first, sir.
Well, I started out talking about a little bit of energy management today, just saving as much energy as possible. It's a great way to cut down on costs when you really can't find a lot of other ways to cut down on costs. Our systems, automatically can kind of be set up to do that for you. But, my first tip is just take the time if you don't have a system and let's save some energy, turn some lights off, make sure you're adjusting the thermostats before you leave the house. Look at old appliances. Maybe they need to be replaced because you're just going to save a ton of money by putting something new in. Research new purchases. Make sure about the amount of energy it's going to cost you a year, and LED lights is the big one. When your lights are going out now, go with LEDs because they use next to no energy compared to incandescent and other types.
John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting, is our partner in that space as well. Again, all of our partners are listed on our website, consumerqb.com. Click on the Expert Contributors tab. Fred Muth.
Please get a lot of estimates, ask a lot of questions. In our business, we appreciate that. If I'm the first guy in and the last guy in, I know there may be a problem down the road. If you decide to build such a project in the backyard, make sure that the contractor's representative is willing and able to answer the questions. And you feel that they're avoiding the questions and answers, etc., it might be time to look elsewhere. It's not always a great idea to choose the low bid contractor. In some cases, it's okay. Most of the time, if the middle bid contractor is probably leaving nothing out. And even as a homeowner consumer myself, my wife and I, we would never choose low bid. Or sometimes we're high bid, sometimes we're middle. But that's where we want to be.
Yep.
And obviously, in any type of construction business, Jason, you would know this as well. If you low bid it, you're going to find ways to cut corners.
Yep.
And the consumer's not going to know until it's too late. So that's why we really like to educate the consumer, make sure that the customer is consumer wise.
That's right.
And I just continue to stress to ask questions. The questions are great because we like to answer the questions in a professional manner. And when we go in to build a job, we've covered everything.
Yep. And it's a lot like your insurance. I kind of related, Jeremy Wolins, JW Insurance, JW Assurance. He's our insurance partner. You can save on the premium, but then your coverages are going to be less.
That's correct.
So you got to look at the complete deal as a cumulative, comprehensive plan.
That's correct.
So Fred, great
yes,
comments.
Also,
there.
To all the installers in the aluminum business, guys, please never ever come down the ladder the way you went up. Head first.
Yeah, I like that. Good one. Jason Avery.
Hey, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, they do require permits. And that's a question that I get asked or people get surprised by. Sometimes they can't believe, why would it require a permit? Well, you're doing any plumbing moves, any electrical moves, any kind of trade associated changes of any kind that needs to be inspected before it gets covered up. So absolutely get a permit, hire a licensed professional.
Yeah, I love it. And I've got a personal development quote here. As you know, I'm a public speaker as well, professional speaker. And I talk about a personal development set point. It works a lot like your air conditioning. As we've grown through this life, we've all invested a certain amount of money and time into education. And then some of us stop. Some of us continue and invest in our businesses as well. But it's kind of like a thermometer or a thermostat in your home. If you set it to 70 degrees, it gets hotter outside. The AC kicks on, brings it back down. And that's what happens in our life. And you see it. A best example is when you see someone that's making a $30,000 to $40,000 income, they win the lottery, and then 3 to 5 years later, what happens to that $10 million? We all know it. They're gone. It's gone. They're broke, right? So it's kind of like that thermostat working in your life. It's called a personal development set point. And, it's something that a quote that Jim Rohn said, in order for things to get better for you, you have to get better. So invest in yourself. There's lots of ways you can do it nowadays with podcasts and utilizing what I call no extra time, net time. Consumer tip from the quarterback here. Let's see if we can go around the horn one more time. Quick tips. Jaret Nichols, you're up first.
Just a real quick thing on what we do is a pretty new business as far as home automation goes. And getting a professionally installed home automation system, I'm going to guarantee that probably nobody in this room has done that shopping yet, or maybe one of you has. Yeah. I get asked a lot to go and give bids on projects, and then when you say, "Hey, can I get some sort of budget you're trying to work with?" I don't know why, but people just really outwardly more often than not refuse. And I think they are afraid that you're going to try to rip them off because it's something new, and it makes our work difficult because sometimes somebody's got a $10,000 number in their head and they just gave you a $50,000 system they want to put in their house, and then they get the bid and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, well, I guess it's that negotiation thing that whoever gives the first number loses, right? So
it makes it difficult sometimes. So it is not a bad idea to at least give maybe a range of a budget so that we kind of are on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank Jaret Nichols, Tampa Bay Electronic Systems. I want to thank Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, as well as Jason Avery, Avery Remodeling, Avery Home Remodeling and Construction. I want to thank all of our listeners out there, our viewers of our television show, maybe watching the live stream at our website, realestateradiotampa.com. And also, please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as maybe bagging up leftovers and taking it, giving to the folks that you see on the side of the roads that are looking for some change and some handouts, and maybe even buying a cup of coffee for a serviceman or woman or a police officer. So go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, and we'll see you next time.